Welcome to Library Creamy and welcome to Library Cleaning. If you're wondering why I have so many plushes, I can explain. I bought them, got them as gifts, or won them in claw machines, which I should stop playing because it was in my New Year's resolution. And if you're wondering why a 30, none of your business years old geriatric millennial man needs a whole bunch of dust magnets, I do have an explanation. Depression vibes. Hello, darkness, my old friend. So, as I dust off the Pokemon plushes, I might as well dust off one of my Pokemon games on Nintendo Switch because I did not upload to this channel or was on this channel for like 5 months because... Hello, darkness, my old friend. But I'm here, so I'm going to make a video. Please subscribe. So I previously did a video on Pokemon BDSP which took place in Sinnoh region, the same region Pokemon Legends Arceus took place, so they are like siblings even though Pokemon Legends Arceus is actually prettier and smarter one, just like me and my younger brother. I'm the pretty one. Nobody asked you, Patrice! The Pokemon I will use in this game for battles will be the ones I have in plushes. Therefore, I will not be able to finish all the quests and 100% the game. I didn't even do that on my first playthrough, but I will finish catching Dialga and Pergia. So when you start the game, you get kidnapped by Arceus and then you go to another dimension and you fall through the hole in the sky. The starting Pokemon will be Owlet. I kind of wanted to play as different type Pokemon because my first playthrough on Pokemon Legends Arceus was with Owlet as well, but I didn't have any other plushes, so Owlet it is. And then I needed to go through more tutorial. Jesus, I mean, I hate tutorials in games. I am of course one of those people who doesn't read any text on tutorials and later Googles like, how do you parry on Breath of the Wild? Still don't know how to do that. Anyway, this tutorial was unnecessarily lengthy, but I do have to keep in mind that this game was an entirely new kind of Pokemon game. I mean, you get attacked by these wild Pokemon that are living, breathing, sleeping, eating, shitting. No, they don't do that, although they should do that. This game was basically Monster Hunter, but you could not chop up the tails. But if you chop up the tail of the Pokemon, I mean, it would be cruel if you did that to Charizard, right? But they've been doing that to Slowpoke forever, which is a bit of a double standard if you ask me. Nobody asked you, Patrice! Anyway, after the tedious tutorial, I finally encountered the second Pokemon for the party, Eevee. But it ran away. So instead of cuddly cute Eevee, I tried to catch this Alpha Snorlax, failed miserably, and then, even though I lost the footage, I caught Pichu, because it will become a Pikachu. I never wanted to buy any Pikachu plushes, by the way, because Pikachu is like Mickey Mouse of Pokemon. They just ship Pikachu so much, making everything look like a deformed rabbit and call it Pikachu, and just mark a higher price on it. Audacity. So as a mildly basic bitch, I always am self-conscious for liking something that basic. But I saw this plush of Pikachu climbing Tokyo Skytree in Tokyo Skytree Pokemon Center in Japan. Like, Pikachu is climbing it like it's King Kong, which I fucking hate. So I had to get it. Was it worth it? No. Do I find this cute? Little bit. Was buying this plush one of those choices that I made in my life that I regret? I mean, kinda, yes. Anyway, after catching Pichu, I finally caught Eevee. And then I evolved my Owlet to Dartrix. Oh, one thing I really liked about Pokemon Legends Arceus is, unlike any other Pokemon game, that whenever you level up a Pokemon, you have to see the evolution screen. You don't have to do that. In this game, you can actually decide whether you want to evolve your Pokemon or not. So it was less annoying for sure. I really like that feature. And then I fought this girl whose Munchlax was so damn strong. I should have gotten that Snorlax, but I somehow managed to defeat the Munchlax by using my adorable Eevee as a mid-shield. And then I had to fight some Alpha Cricket Pokemon. And I met this deer Pokemon, which my character will be riding later. And no, not in that way. I'm not a furry, never even got into Digimon. And I decided to pacify the first Lord Pokemon, Cleaver. And I needed to enhance my battle Pokemons, which means I had to evolve my Pokemons. So it was pretty easy to evolve my Pichu to Pikachu and Eevee into... Okay, I thought my Eevee forgot the fairy moves, but I didn't confirm the changes, I guess, so my Eevee turned into Sylveon, which I don't really care for unless it's shiny. But it won't be enough, so I needed one more Pokemon. So my next Pokemon will be not Snorlax, because I couldn't catch it. So I had only one choice, the Pokemon that was probably in every single Pokemon games along with Pikachu, Magikarp. So my favorite is Metapod, and my second favorite is Phoebus. Not Milotic, I mean shiny Milotic is super pretty for sure, but Phoebus looks so dumb. And I don't know, I just like it so much. But none of them were in Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I had to settle for Magikarp. And Pokemon Legends Arceus uses the experience sharing system because, as they say, sharing is caring, I guess. So I could easily evolve my Magikarp into Gyarados, unlike earlier generation games where you have to put Magikarp first and then switch to other Pokemon to get extra experience. So I have my Pokemon ready, but what I forgot was that in this game, Pokemon battle is actually not a big part of the game, even though it's there. You just have to dodge the enemy attack, and you should throw this sacks of food at the Lord Pokemon to pacify them. So basically you're having a food fight with the Pokemon. Isn't that kind of bordering animal abuse if you think about it now? So I somehow defeated Cleaver, and then it was actually very smooth sailing after that. I pacified Lilligant, then made a food for the big green salmon looking Pokemon, but these girls who are going through their JoJo Seabass Bad Girl Karma era along the way, pacified Arcanine, lost the footage but caught a Vulpix to evolve into Ninetales, and oh, I finally caught a Munchlax and that one Arpa Snorlax I've been meaning to catch, but it was just alright, I wasn't too excited about that. And then I pacified Electrode, became friends with this big bird. I could now fly around, so I caught Ninetales because I was too late to evolve Burpix into one. Finished my party, pacified the gigantic iceberg thingy. Then Sky became weird and I got kicked out of the village by the weird mustache guy whom everybody thinks is hot. He's not. He and Tom Selleck met this witch lady, caught them flying Pokemons that look like balloon animals, and then bought the mustache guy's ninja boyfriend, and also fought the mustache guy who's wearing a samurai armor. And then I fought Dialga and caught it after taking it down a few times by mistake. And then after that, I easily caught Parky as well. I would say this went way easier than I thought it would be. This video had the possibility of becoming one of those Nuzlocke videos, but it didn't become one. If this were any other Pokemon games where Pokemon trainers are basically like velociraptors from 90s Jurassic Park movies lunging at you, it might have been difficult for me, but on this one, Pokemon Battle was actually not the focus. It was simply all about traversing this vast world, riding on Pokemon again, not a furry. I think this was a really good Pokemon game to come to think of. You can actually do the whole catch them all without having to buy 2 games or having to subscribe to the Nintendo Online service, because there's an item called Linking Cord and you can actually evolve Pokemons that you normally have to trade in other games to get them evolved. And the fact that this game happened in the past, in another world, in a different dimension, was kind of immersive. This is Isekai, so it was more immersive for me in a weird way. I am 30, again, none of your fucking business, years old man, so it always felt weird when I play as a teenage boy and calling some data dummy a mommy.
You can't tell me what to do, you ain't my mother!
But on this game, I mean, it's a different world. I can be a 15 years old girl if I wanted to be, or a boy. None of them sounds right, but you get the point across, right? The only downside of this game for me is the fact this game lacks major social features. Even though I'm not a social person, I never got super into Breath of the Wild because of how empty it looked, how post-apocalyptic it looked. This game kind of had the same feeling. You fell from the sky from another dimension, and the only fact you know there are others around is the little satchels dropped by bots or players. I mean, it could have been cool if you had to pacify like Lord Pokemons from time to time or other Pokemons weekly, and you could get special Pokemon as a reward like they do in Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, but hey, this is actually a very decent game, let alone a very decent Pokemon game when you think of BDSP. For now, as Nintendo Switch entered its twilight era, the only games that get me excited are the Dragon Quest remake and another Pokemon Legends game, Pokemon Legends Z2A, which might or might not come to Nintendo Switch too. So if you had not played Pokemon Legends Arceus by any chance, or sick of graphic glitches on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or unfortunate enough to have both Pokemon BDSP because they were on sale and you thought it cannot be that bad and hated it, why don't you give Pokemon Legends Arceus a try? Or not gonna tell you what to do. Anyway, if you liked the video, please convince me not to buy that plush of that dear Pokemon that looked like the dog from Howl's Moving Castle to celebrate me finally finishing this video. Oh, and like and subscribe. Bye.